I'm Michael Emerson, and I'm currently a teacher at SAR High School in Riverdale, New York. I'm also a graduate student at NYU, studying for my PhD in education and Jewish studies. I was really interested in finding a group of people that would be committed to professionalizing the world of Israel education and essentially creating a field. The greatest part of the program were the times that we got together as a cohort, and we really had a chance to hash out some really difficult subjects, concerning Israel, and hear from some of the greatest speakers and researchers in the field. It's rare that you find a program that can really bring together people from such different environments. That's probably my most important takeaway. The motivation to say, I want to hear from someone else. I want to hear from someone who has a different opinion than I do. I want to hear from someone who didn't grow up the same way I did. You try to learn what you can from everybody you come into contact with and from everything you read and from everything you discuss. That, to me, is one of the crucial lessons that I try to impart to my students in my classroom.
What was really remarkable for me was to listen how North Americans speak about their relationship with Israel, about the field of Israel education, what the challenges are, what inspires them. And for me, as an Israeli that has been involved in Jewish education and Israel education, it felt like the missing part of my ability to be successful in my role as shlicha. It just strengthened how distant we are, North Americans, from Israeli when we think about Israel education. We need in the field more opportunities for experiment to break the paradigms that exist in Israel education.
One thing that I'm really working on at camp is becoming a partner with the Mishlachat, with the Israelis who come every summer. I want the Shlichut experience to be more of an exchange, a cultural exchange between Israelis and American Jews, but really to think about how Israel affects their Jewish identity and sort of the interplay between Jewish identity and Israeli identity, and bringing that to our campers in a much more textured and complex way.
My name is Rabbi Seth Grauer. I currently teach at Yeshiva University's High School for Girls. For me, and in an Orthodox high school where Israel is really very much on the minds of our students, I learned from the iCenter different ways to engage our students in Israel education to ensure that they are connecting, making, creating, building, and developing meaningful relationships with Israel. Any educator knows that it takes a long time often to see the fruits of one's labor. The iCenter is throwing a ton of darts, and they are sending out a huge number of passionate, excited Israel educators.
This field didn't exist before. When I came into the MA program, I hadn't even heard the term Israel education. I hadn't heard of a field of Israel education. My goal is to have Israel trips for teens become the norm, and for people to really get that experience at a younger age so that they can make Israel a part of their lives. Anne told me, why not? Why can't that happen? It was really one of those moments where I thought, okay, maybe my dream can actually be real one day.
One of the major problems when creating a field of any kind is developing a shared language and value structure that can allow people to kind of use the same jumping off point and find a way to move forward. Every community and every school and every teacher and every synagogue has the ability to look at their own programs, and look at their classes, and look at how they're teaching and say, does this cover what we're talking about when we talk about what's good Israel education? Are we reaching our goals, and are we doing something that we can share with other people in a way that they can understand us? Suddenly when you have a shared language, it becomes much easier to collaborate.
When I teach Israel to young adults, it needs to become their own. It needs to become something that they feel passionate about. I would be ashamed if the way that we teach Israel today is the same way that we teach it 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now. So my role in Israel education is going to be to stay current. When thinking about teaching Israel, sometimes I think we all get stuck in our own little bubble of our organizational worlds. To know that there are a lot of other people dealing with these same types of things was encouraging, because it means that we are a growing network of people who are thinking seriously about Israel education.